In section 9.8, we're going to use what we learned about quadratic equations and using their roots to write those equations, to write equations for cubic functions. Okay, and you'll see that it works in a similar manner as we worked with previously. Okay, so example B, we've got a graph, and we are writing an equation for that graph that's shown. So we're going to start with identifying our roots. Okay, so if we look in our equation here, we cross the x-axis at -1, 0, and a +2. Okay, our second step, once we have our roots, is we're going to plug our roots into factored form. Okay, and just our general factored form for a cubic looks just like factored form for quadratic, but instead of having 2 roots, there are 3 roots. So our a value is still out front. We have x minus root 1, x minus root 2. If we stopped here, that would be a quadratic function, but we've got 3 roots, so we also need to have x minus root 3. Okay, so in our example, when we plug that into factored form, we do not know a, but we know our first root is -1, so x minus a -1 is +1, x minus 0, and x minus 2. Okay, our third step is going to be to find a. And we're always going to do that by plugging in a test point. And the easiest test point to plug in is usually the y-intercept. So where the equation crosses the y-axis. However, if that's already a 0, like it is in this graph, then you can choose another point. So the point that we are going to use is labeled for us in our graph 1, 4. So that is our test point. So we are plugging 4 in for y and 1 in for x. So 4 equals a times 1 plus 1, 1 minus 0, and 1 minus 2. Okay. We simplify that and we get 4 equals a times 2 times 1 times -1. Okay, then we can multiply. 2 times 1 is 2, times -1 is -2. So we have 4 equals -2a. And solving for a, we divide by -2, divide by -2, and we get an a value of -2. Okay, that allows us then to write our final equation, y equals -2 times x plus 1 times x minus 0 times x minus 2. Okay. You are going to follow those same steps to write an equation for your guided practice below. For both of those, I would recommend using your y-intercept as your test point. So for the first one, your y-intercept is -12. So your test point is going to be 0, -12. And for the second one, using your y-intercept, that would be 0, 12. Okay? So follow the same steps that you did above to write those equations, and when you are done, Check your work using the next video.